The goal of this show is to help you break in and thrive in advertising, and we do that every single week by sharing the stories and advice of those rocking it on the other side. We also post advertising news you need to know in 60 seconds or less every single day on our LinkedIn. Check those videos out. It's unlike any other ad news you've ever seen before. Today, we have Malabi Desgupta, Global Creative Lead at Publicis Conseil. Publicis Conseil is the most awarded creative ad agency, probably one of the best in the world right now. They were awarded Cannes Lions Agency of the Year in 2024 and in 2025. That's back to back. Cannes Lions obviously is a well-established, very trusted platform to name this, so that is so impressive. They also won Titanium Grand Prix in 2025 for AXA's 3 Words campaign. That's the most transformational advertising campaign out in the world that they won. So Malabi is going to talk about how she got to this powerhouse, so one of the best agencies. She was born in Mumbai. She studied chemistry, and she was inspired to pursue advertising after a university talk. She started in pharmaceutical advertising and moved her way up into full service creative agencies. You're going to love this episode. This is just an incredible agency. To get the insight of what it's like to work there is so special. So sit back, relax, take some notes, and reach out to her and say hello. Now on with the show. This is the Breaking and Entering Advertising podcast. And as usual, I'm your accomplice, Gino Schellenberger. Kick it, Ellie. Malabi Desgupta, welcome to the Breaking and Entering Advertising podcast. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Gino. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Where are you calling in from?
Well, I'm in Paris at work right now. And yeah.
Wonderful. Now, for the listeners out there, you might have heard in the intro, this is a very impressive, important episode. Publicis Conseil, for those that don't know, is just an unbelievable agency. And Malabi, you are the global lead creative for the agency here. I mean, I can list awards. I probably did in the intro, but 2024 and in 2025, Cannes named you all the Agency of the Year. Titanium Grand Prix was also won this year by you all for AXA's 3 Words, which is a beautiful campaign. So Malabi, I'm nervous, I'm pumped, I'm excited. I want to learn from you about what's going on at Publicis Conseil that is making you all so successful, how you lead creativity there, and then how you got to where you're at today. The best advice for the next generation on what you've learned. How does that sound?
That sounds great. Let's get going.
Great. Let's have some fun first. Some nice and easy, some rapid fire questions. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
Okay. So, first question here, as fast as you can. Where are you most creative?
I'm most creative when I'm looking for answers. Honestly, it could be anywhere when I'm searching. Yeah.
And what's your greatest source of inspiration?
Greatest source of inspiration, people. People. People's the way people behave. Studying them, looking at them, what gets them going.
Malabi, what's the best concert you've ever been to?
Concert. Mm-hmm. The best concert. It was a Rolling Stones concert. I haven't been to too many concerts, but the Rolling Stones concert, I remember this was back in Mumbai. That was the last concert. It was a good one. Yeah.
Okay. And what are you currently watching? What are you streaming? What shows?
I just finished streaming. The very Westworld. I think it's an old one. It's an HBO show, but I got on pretty late onto it. So yeah.
Yeah. And what's the greatest place you've visited?
The greatest place I've visited. That's hard to say because I've visited quite a few. I like cities. I'm a very big fan of like urban architecture, urban design. So I love cities. I love London, New York. I'm a real city rat.
Okay.
So
So
unfortunately, I mean, I'd have liked to say yeah, in the middle of wilderness, but I really love cities.
okay. So London, New York, you like, that's your answer there. What's the best thing you've read
Of late or ever
in your
since.
entire life? Your favorite
In my
book?
entire life, my favorite book is Somerset Maugham of Human Bondage, which I inherited from my dad actually, and they are all like books that all books written by mom, an English writer, and they are all hardbound with very beautiful golden calligraphy, and you don't see those kind of binding these days. So that I think is I love that book.
I love it. I love it. Nice and easy start there. Thank you so much for doing that. So, I want to get into now Publicis Conseil. Just at a high level, what is it like working there? What's your role there? What makes you guys so different in your perspective?
So, first of all, let me say that I am really lucky to be here right now. I It was not always like this. Things really sort of took the turn for excellence when Marco came at the head of the agency as the CCO and the CEO, and along with the president of our company, Agath. He sort of they as a team they sort of became the north star of this company, guiding us towards. Creativity, but also more importantly towards like creative transformation of all the brands, the business transformation in a creative way. That's where we really focus our attention at. Business transformation in the most creative and impactful way possible.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
They,
so so
so
it's
those
not
two
like
came
one off.
in.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. What was
Those
that?
two came in and really restructured how the agency thinks. When did they come in? When did you come into play?
No. So I was around since. So Marco hired me in 2000. Around 2020-ish. Yeah, and he actually laid down the structure and the way things work. And I'm just one of the creative directors here in this company. We have lots of different accounts, huge accounts, French accounts, multinational accounts, and it's very, very interesting, very challenging in a good way to work here
Mhm.
because especially since the last 5 years that he took over, things are there are so many interesting pieces of work that are floating around that are so inspiring that sort of push us to do better. Each and every one of us, honestly. So I think that's great.
Yeah. So Marco is the CCO. Is that fair to say?
Yes, he's the CCO and the CEO of Publicis Conseil, but he's also the head of Leo.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah,
Yes.
because now we have Leo constellation, so Marco heads that as well.
Got it. Got it. And you are one of the creative leads within the organization here. What clients do you focus in on?
So I focus on three or four key clients. A lot of them are international clients, not necessarily from the French market, but many of them are from the French market as well. So there's like I do a lot of infant nutrition, like Cerelac, Lactogen, Nido, this sort of stuff. But I also do Maggie. I don't know if you've heard of this brand. It's a food brand which basically works across continents, across different cultures, and I work on those brands.
Got it. Got it. Understood here. And I'm assuming have you've worked at other agencies in your life. Is this correct?
Yeah, I've worked at quite a few other agencies. Yes.
Wonderful. So of all those agencies and the success that Publicis Conseil has right now, what do you see different from maybe at a past agency or have where else you've worked, what makes Publicis Conseil special? Is there like a structure, a process of some sort, or is it just mentality from leadership down that trickles to every single person? How would you clarify that?
It's definitely the leadership that the leadership that trickles down, the thought that trickles down, definitely. But it's also the way we approach the work, which is it starts right at the strategy, and there is like a core team that makes the work strategically really really sound to begin with, and also take the clients along. It's always like a partnership. It's always partnership at work. It's not like we are the agency, that's the client. It's not like that. It's really working together, making sure that we are able to produce the best work of our lives together
Yeah.
with our clients.
Yeah, and the
So
clients no
that
longer like go away for a couple of months and they don't know what's going on. Then you present the work. You have to bring them
no,
along
no.
with. Yeah.
It's very iterative. We work in an iterative way, but at the same time, we are very you know the kitchen work, the work that we do in the background is very we take our time to work on it. It's we don't share, I mean, we take our time to work on the background so that it's
Right.
clear, but along with the strategist, along with the entire accounts team. And I think what has changed is that everybody is on board. Everyone is together on it. It's not the creatives are doing this on their side or the strategists are doing something. And there is like a very good energy, of exchange, of discussions. It's very open. And I think this is very interesting. Honestly, I feel quite lucky to be here at this moment.
That's amazing. I'm curious then on the culture and internally then of winning. And major success for the past 2 years. I'm sure beyond that. When we talk on the whiteboard, we do whiteboard news all the time, and Publicis Conseil comes up all the time. I just found out that I've been mispronouncing it for months now, so I will fix that. I apologize. But when you have this culture of winning, how do you balance out like I don't know, like a healthy work environment? Because I'm sure that it gets competitive. People want to succeed, so they might work extra long hours. I guess like how do you navigate that yourself with the pressure to win and just to also unwind and ensure you're creative?
So it is, what happens is that we've really got collaborative culture now rather than a competitive culture. I think that's what's made all the difference as well. So initially, it could be creative. I mean, our industry, it's super dog eat dog. It's like we have long hours and we will just have to get things done at any cost, make sure that we remain at the top of our games and all of that. But now it's like it's so inspiring. It's almost academic, like the way the way the strategists go like really detective on the brands and find out that one thing that we could take the brand to the next level, that could literally transform the way the brand works. These kind of starting points that are just wonderful, that you must have seen with AXA 3 words how it was done. The coming up with a product that can change the way the insurance functions, and that is generous in the way the idea is at its heart. It is generous, it is inclusive, it is it's and at the same time it is so ingenious, so innovative. So these are the things, and also humility. I think this is like these kind of soft skills. Are very useful when things get very competitive around you. Like uh, and a good idea can come from anyone, of course,
Hmm.
and to keep that in mind. But at the same time, once that is there, to get everyone on board in a way that everyone is collaborative, in a way that nobody feels left out. Everyone feels like a part of a team. So
Yeah.
this is a very good feeling, and it's also difficult to instill this feeling. But
Right.
that's where it's going. That's where it's going, which is very nice, which is very good.
Yeah, and it's working, right? Like
It's
when you find success, then it's easy. It gets easier to like justify whatever culture that the leadership wants to say because it's working, and then you can ensure that there's better policy within the walls there. So this all makes sense. Tell me, what was it like to be so for the agency to find so much success a couple weeks ago? I think it was just a couple weeks ago at Cannes. And like when coming back from that, what was it like within the walls of the agency to be so successful, to have a titanium line, to see the hard work pay off, to get the gold lions, to be agency of the year by
It's
Cannes
just
International
brilliant.
Festival?
It's brilliant. It's unbelievable. The kind of transformation that this agency, I mean, we are talking about, transforming business transformation, but the kind of transformation that we see in this agency, creative transformation, it is unbelievable. It is wonderful to see, and it is so humbling to see this kind of amazing work around us, that is being recognized, that is being celebrated, and not every industry has the luck to sort of celebrate the work annually as well. So we are fortunate in that sense that our industry is one such industry where every single year, we celebrate creativity just in its purest form, and we have so many platforms to do so, the foremost being Can Lions. So it's just wonderful. I mean, the Can Lions platform is, first of all, incredible. And then for us to have been recognized as the agency of the year 2 years in a row, I mean, sheer hard work. It's been so much work that's gone into every single piece of work that was entered. The kind of thought, the kind of eye for detail, and everything. The attention to craft, everything was just impeccable. And that's been. It's there's so much to. It's very inspiring to be around this kind of work, these kinds of very talented people as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well said. So now we need to understand how you broke into advertising. What was the first job? How did you get it? Let's go back and recount those days on when you first broke in. Tell us how you did it.
So I started off. I was born in India, in Mumbai, and I started off living there, going to school there, and there was I was studying chemistry for some and while during our lectures there was an alumni who had broken into advertising, and he came in to talk about advertising, and I happened to attend that talk, and that really got me thinking, and I really liked what he had to say about all the possibilities, and I didn't even know until then that you could actually write ads and concepts for a living. I had no idea. So that was very interesting, and that's when I approached several agencies, for copy tests, because we didn't really have schools that taught advertising in those days. So copy test, and yeah, art schools were there, but I'm not an art director by trade. I wasn't an art director. I started off as a copywriter. So yeah, that was that. And then the coming to Paris was very strange as well, because I moved to England from India, and that was just to study, to have a full digital immersion at a school called Hyper Island, and then from there I stuck around London for a bit, and then I just wrote to a creative director that worked here, just out of the blue, just shot her an email just like that, saying I'd love to meet you, and then that's how things fell in place.
Okay. So to recap, you're studying chemistry. An alumni from the university comes in that works in advertising, and you want to make that pivot. So
Yeah.
did you finish with the degree in chemistry, or did you swap over to English?
I did
Tell me.
finish it. I did finish it, yes.
So you have a chemistry degree.
I do, yeah.
Incredible. And then from so where do you go after graduation again?
You mean after graduating in chemistry?
Yeah, after college, where do you end up?
So I ended up in an agency called Contract, which was an agency that was a part of a WPP network, which was a
Okay.
part of the WPP. Yeah. So JWT and Contract were two agencies that were then sister agencies, you could say, part of the WPP network, and I worked there. From there, I went to an agency called Enterprise, which was an interpublic sort of company, and then I moved to the UK for a bit to
Got it.
study again, to go back to
So
school.
you went back to school. We'll get to that. But what do you think the first person that hired you in advertising saw in you? What did you say? How did you make this? How did you convince them to give a chemistry graduate take a chance on this chemistry graduate? What'd you say? How did it
So,
work?
so I actually worked in medical advertising for a bit. So I went into something that was more sort of pharmaceutical related first because it was in keeping with the degree. So it was, and I had a lot of writing that I had done, and spec ads that I had done for pharmaceutical companies.
Hmm.
I had a little book of spec ads, and many of them didn't follow the rules that pharmaceutical advertising tends to follow, but
Hmm.
it was fine because I really wanted to, break those rules. And I also come from a family of pharmacists, so it was, and I liked the area of health and healthcare, and that's how I got my start.
So did you end up working in the health advertising, like a health ad agency? Is that like the route that
There
was for
was
you?
I didn't go to a health advertising agency, no, after that. I did work on a few clients that were related to health, but I
Yeah.
didn't go to a health advertising agency.
Yeah.
Although that would be great, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that would be that maybe could have attracted you at that time. I guess why
It did,
not?
yeah.
Why choose the fuller service creative agency?
Because then I saw all the incredible work that was happening on the other accounts that where the barriers were even lower, or even lesser, and
Right.
that made me want to work on everything.
Yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. I know. I agree with you. I don't think I would ever want to work in health ad agencies, but that's okay. That's just me. I have no idea how they do it, and yeah. So I think you made the right choice there, and it's obviously been super successful for you. So what I want to ask you now is that we call this segment or this question "work that worked." What was a campaign that you worked on at any point in your career that you felt was transformational for you specifically? Got you promotions, got you a next job, really solidified or gave you confidence? What was that campaign for you?
So it wasn't just one campaign. I think there was a lot of work, and it's because our business, it's very sort of an everyday performance oriented business. So you've got to be quite regularly successful, and not only at work, turning out incredible creative work, but also at like making sure that it gets out. Because, right from the beginning, I used to present to the clients, and I was quite client facing, So that again, teaches you different skill sets, makes you more, I would say, makes you more autonomous as a creative. Uh, but at the same time, it has its pitfalls too, because it can make you wonder. It can take you into this rabbit hole of don't what not to do, which is not never a very good thing for a creative person anyway.
Yeah.
The one that's starting out. But after that, we work with around boxes. We have to respect the box that we work in. There are quite a few things that we need to keep in mind for accounts, like especially the ones that I work on, like baby food, for example. There are quite a few restrictions and quite a few things that you're allowed to say and what you're not allowed to say. And I think the art is in that, in getting something great out while keeping those things in mind, and not necessarily just breaking every single rule. all the time, So that's where the art lies, to understand, to empathize with the client, to stand in the client's shoes and to see how could this be transformative. So for an example, I would say I worked on quite a few accounts here, on Renault, on a couple of other things, on Nestle, like I said. So there were quite a few platforms that I managed to work on, global platforms that went on to become quite successful, and I think that might have contributed in some ways towards some amount of success. I would
Yeah.
say.
Understood. And I think it's important to hear that advice. I guess when you're looking back and when you first started your advertising agency career, what are some of those like basic things that you wish you would have known about, whether it was copywriting or giving presentations? Like, what are some of those things that you really kick yourself over today that you know now, but you wish you knew then?
I think the one of the most important things that I know now that I wish I knew then would be that to be when you're younger, you're always looking for you're looking to shock or surprise or, catch people in their tracks, or just like do something very gimmicky, because that's where you go towards, instinctively, when you're just starting off. But then I think that a deeper look at the business and what the business needs, or a deeper study of the market, or the hidden ambitions that are probably not spelled out but are very much in the hearts of the people that are working on the business. These kind of things you tend to learn later as you pass, as you spend more time in the business, and it makes you more empathetic towards the clients, towards the business. I think that is something that you can only learn with a little more experience. It doesn't come instantly. So yes, that, and the value of more collaboration. That now the value of collaboration. I mean, it's invaluable. How to be a certain way with people, to be nice to people, to be inspiring. Without to be respectful towards people. These sort of things are things that I learn every day. I don't think I'm done learning. I think that every day, just like you were saying, our this agency, Publicis Conseil, it's changed. It's become so much more creative. There are so many creative leaders that are responsible for having, for making that happen. So many great creatives behind every piece of work. And there's really a lot to learn from each of them. So I just try to be the student of advertising, or the student of life.
I love it.
Yeah,
It's never finished, never finished.
it's never finished. It's no.
Yeah. When you're looking at hiring somebody, or you're a part of an interview, or a junior or an intern starts, what are some of those things that you look at? You're like, okay, this person's going to be successful. Like, this person, this characteristic is best suited for this industry right now, or at least in 2025. Are there any things that pop up?
Yes, many things, because I have hired people who are doing extremely well right now. So, and it's like I feel so proud of them. So the first thing. So whenever you see like a bright person, a bright young person, uh, the first thing is that they have very good work. They need to have a book that is full of, I wouldn't say the best crafted work, because everyone understands that when you're very young, you haven't been able to break in yet. So you can't, you're not expected to have work that is crafted to a great level. But the diversity of thinking, the showing the showing the way you think, in any way possible, whether it is, it doesn't even have to be only through advertising. It could be through dreaming up a product, or it could be a small business. It could be art. It could be anything.
Yeah.
But if it's advertising, 4 or 5 pieces of work that are really, really that show you that you can tell that the thinking behind this is different.
Yeah.
It is it's not the first thought. It's not what you'd expect. And at the same time, I mean, at the same time, it is something that the brand could pull off, but hasn't.
Hmm.
You know.
I like that because
Uh,
it could be so outrageous and so funny or whatever, or just wild, but maybe it's not too realistic. It's just
yes. So
into this
so
world.
you're right. So outrageous. You know the kind of work that we see now on Nutter Butter. You know, crazy work,
Yeah.
which we really like as well. It could be outrageous. I mean, there is nothing wrong in being outrageous, but
If it
if
matches the
you're able
brand.
to convince the creative director that's looking at your work why the work is like that, you
You
have
know,
to you
I'm curious. I didn't want to stop you. I apologize, but I'm so curious. What is it like when you're doing these interviews? Are you having them walk through their portfolio and they're going one by one? Do you pick a specific campaign that you say, I like this one, or let's hover in on this campaign for Nutter Butter? Walk me through your thinking. Is that how you approach it? And then do they present it to you, how they came up with it, what the idea was? You listen through that?
sometimes, but not all the time. It's just like it depends. Because somebody might walk in and he might be so just like not have much work at all. You know, there are instances where a person doesn't have that much work, maybe two, three pieces of work, but you can tell that you can tell from that person's work that it might be worth giving him a shot or her a shot. You know,
Yeah.
there are so many internship programs, you know, all over the world, and I think, you know, and young people, they often opt to work for free, even, to get into advertising, which I think is a little sad, but 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 yeah, I think I would say also going to school, you know, going to school to get your portfolio done is a good option as well. It's a good alternative to get some work in there in your book so that you can show it around and, you know, you have something to show. But yeah, that could be a good starting point. It's
Okay.
not always, it's not one, there is no formula. It's not
Yeah.
like, okay, five pieces of work, take me through all of them. What I mean is, outrageous work could be cool, but then it needs to be backed by something. There needs to be a reason why. It can't
Yeah.
just be outrageous for the sake of it.
Right. Right. Yeah, and I'm assuming they won't even get a conversation with you if the work's not good. Chances are the portfolio has been sent by a recruiter or like it got around, maybe it got to you, you open up the link and then you peruse through it and then you say, "Okay, I like what I see here. I want to learn more." And then you have that conversation. It might go through a couple people before you. It might go to you first, but the work itself is the ultimate barrier, I feel like, and that's where people should focus on is like having something, having a website or a project of some sort to point to send to a creative director. Is that fair?
It's completely fair. It's
Yeah.
completely fair. It just makes it easier because you have a
Mhm.
conversation starter then, you know.
Yeah.
Otherwise, yes, there's nothing to base the conversation on. And the
Right.
second thing is also having a great partner. You know, looking for a great partner, looking for a great collaborator could also, it's priceless as well.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Because if you're a copywriter and you're trying to be a copywriter, it's advantageous to find an equally good or ambitious art director. So you don't have to focus on some of the aesthetics of it. As a good creative director, you should also be able to pick through and say, okay, I understand you're a copywriter. I like what I'm reading. I like the ideas and the concepts. It might not look that good, but I understand your thinking.
Yeah,
However, when you have that good art direction, it just makes the whole thing just more appetizing and more likely
totally.
for some people to look at. So it's not, I wouldn't say it's a deal breaker, but it just helps so much more when you have a good partner to concept with, right?
It helps a lot because as you get along as well, as you go and move along in your career, it's it's just easier, you know, to be together with someone. It's just easier when you have someone with you, and you
Yeah.
can bounce off everything. You can talk about life. You can get. It's just like it's just incredible to have somebody who has your back, who you can bounce ideas to, and this sort of this relationship, if it's strong and if it's strong, if it's based on kindness and helpfulness it's always very productive, It's always very productive.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, well, then, I think we covered a lot here. Is there anything I missed about what's going on in your world? Any other advice that you want to share? Did I miss anything?
I don't know. Was I? Oh, I wanted to make a point about spec work, which
Yes,
I
please do. Tell me
didn't.
about it.
I think it's important to have spec work. If you haven't broken into advertising yet, but there are a few clients that inspire you, few brands that inspire you. It could be anything, could be Apple, could be Nike. I really, really liked the work that was done by I don't know if you've seen it, if you've seen the VO3 work for Liquid Death,
Hmm.
the completely spec work that is viral now. It's a
Yeah.
really beautiful, great piece of film. I think it's really good to push your brain to think in that way, just out of academic interest and not thinking about whether it's going to come out or not, to not have those constraints. So I think it's good to also have work when nothing is in the way, you know.
Oh,
It,
yes. Absolutely. When I refer to portfolio work, I'm usually, and I'm glad you clarified. I'm always referring to portfolios that for people trying to break in is spec work. I almost don't want when I'm looking at work, and you tell me if you agree, I don't want to see a real campaign you did on campus for a local coffee shop for a discount coupon of 20%. You've never heard of it. I've never heard of it. You're in Paris. I don't, I'm in New York. If somebody's in Des Moines, Iowa, and no shade to Des Moines, Iowa, but you increase their sales by 4% for a brand and some coupons, I don't necessarily care as much. I want to be inspired. What did you
yeah.
think about? What did you do with VO3? What would you make for a Nike or a Levi's? Like, I want to see your big thinking with no restraints. Do you agree with that?
I totally agree, and I think that is what would make a creative better, because you throw yourself these challenges, and you also need to be very self motivated to get this kind of work out. There's nobody
Hmm.
breathing down your back saying you need to get this out, do this.
Right.
There is no deadline, so you need to be so self motivated to get that sort of work
Yes.
out of the just out into your book,
Yeah.
if not into the world.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's where if the portfolio schools can give you that structure. Of course, they come at a cost and they take time and they're a lot of work, but they do offer that structure that people might need. But if you know early on that you want to break into advertising as a copywriter or art director, potentially early enough in your academic career, you can find a good partner. You can find spec briefs, or you can write your
Exactly.
own spec briefs. You can do it DIY, do it yourself. But it just takes that a little bit of luck to know early on to find the right resources, to find this podcast, to have a combo with you and reaching out to you after to get some advice. So I love this take.
Cool. Um, Apart from that, what else? I perhaps wanted to talk about something else, but I think I've forgotten. If
That's
there's
okay.
anything else that you think that comes to you.
No, I think, well, really quick, are there internship opportunities, job shadow opportunities at Publicis Conseil?
We do have internship programs, and yes, books can be sent to my email address, and I shall forward them and look at them and forward them to exactly the right people, if that's what you're asking.
Great, great. Then what is that email if you would like to share it? I mean, you just mentioned they can email you. So what is that email? The best
So
one.
it's a long one. It's a long one. Would you like me to just say it like
Say
that?
it. If they
Say,
listen to the very end, they get this little surprise.
okay, it's malabi.dasgupta at conseil, conseil, dot publicis, publicis, dot fr.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for coming on. This has been a wonderful episode. Publicis Conseil is going to keep on crushing it. I know that for a fact. You guys are on fire. I can't wait to watch.
and see you all succeed. So thank you so much for coming out.
Thank you, Gino.
Of course.